Single people, what is like being in the dating scene nowadays? I stay on the sidelines and wait for a miracle. I'll probably be single until I die. People are flaky as fuck. They aren't trying or putting effort in. Not willing to have honest conversations. Everyone is always looking for something better. No one seems to be able to hold a conversation, and my God, it's nearly impossible to get someone to meet you in person. It's like a wasteland of wannabe influencers. I just want a nice person who I enjoy spending time with, doing the simple things. Then if things go well, we can do more exciting and expensive things. It's awful, not fun at all. Online dating makes the whole thing feel like the job application process. I don't know what college is like now, but I miss going to new classes or moving into new dorm rooms and being surrounded by new classmates and new neighbors. Or on weekends when everyone was trying to have a good time. It was so much easier to meet people of a similar age on a regular basis. Doing the whole dance of getting to know someone was also fun, like trying to figure out who to talk to at a party that was close enough with a girl to introduce me rather than have to awkwardly approach her myself, or finally getting someone's number so you could take the conversation beyond class and text back and forth into the wee hours of the night. Now though, it reminds of me filling out my resume but being asked to upload it anyway, only to never get an interview or do an interview that results in nothing because they just did it as a formality to make it look like they were trying to find someone rather than just give the job to the boss's nephew. And meeting people in person is a massive effort that rarely amounts to anything. They say you should join clubs or go to classes, any setting where you're gonna be social and going on a regular basis. Yeah, go do that. But don't be surprised when it's all dudes with the same idea or older married couples trying to find something to do with their new empty nest. Just seems like the odds aren't in your favor as soon as you graduate college. Over the years, I've noticed that superficiality is becoming more of the norm. And I've also noticed that people tend to be more uptight and scared to open up and be themselves. A little as 10 years ago it wasn't like that at all, at least in my experience when I dated then compared to the present times. I'm trying to settle down again, but it's getting harder to find someone and build a connection with. You either catch a great white shark or you get eaten by one. I'm not single anymore, but when I used to say it was like looking for a piece of hay in a needle stack. Lots of pricks. It feels like I'll never get married. Something I saw on Reddit that I laughed and agreed with was that online dating for women is like trying to find fresh water in a swamp, and for men it's like trying to find fresh water in a desert. A nightmare. People seem so disconnected and unenthusiastic that it's frankly disheartening. Not to mention the people showing up looking nothing like their pictures, or having some insane sob story about why their life is so hard. It sucks. The closest thing I even had to a boyfriend was almost 6 months ago, and I was dumped by him, and the dude was hiding a whole ass wife, the whole 2 years we were together. I see my friends jump into relationships without being healed first, and they are so bossy and aggressive and insecure, yet they're able to get past the talking stage and I seem to not. And whenever I show interest in a guy who is interested first, they seem to fall off the face of the earth. I'm not a clingy person, but what the fuck? It's ghetto here. To be honest, it's quite boring. Man shrugging, medium dark skin tone. It's become like fast moving fashion where what's trending is more important than who you're with. Man face palming, medium dark skin tone. Man tipping hand, medium dark skin tone. LOL, I don't even bother. Not worth it. Can't trust anyone. Many of us, including myself, aren't even in the dating scene to begin with. I went on like 60 first dates in the last 2 years. I'm a really fit guy that takes good pics, so getting matches and dates is easy for me, but man, I am so burned out. When I schedule a date I'm not excited for it at all. I've had the same convos over and over again. And I just can't get myself to care or pretend to care. I'm gonna take a long break. Months and months of online dating where you're spending money, going on first dates, trying your best, and nothing is happening. Then you start to consider maybe it's you or you have so much dating fatigue that you need a break. But then you meet someone and hit it off super quickly right before you delete the app or take a break from dating. But things are moving so quickly that it's suspicious, so you fuck it up or get ghosted or they fuck it up. It's really hard to trust people in monogamous relationships today, that's the big thing in my opinion. Everyone's in 3 different talking phases at any given moment. Imo, bad if you just rely on online dating. It depends on what you want. It has never been easier to get laid, it has never been harder to have a meaningful relationship. Terrible, I've basically given up. Forever Alone Club, LOL. Like being at the bottom of the Mariana Trench. Recently divorced, but it's a cesspool and I feel like not having a degree limits my options. Women are just as picky now as they were when I was 20, but now everyone has more baggage including me. What dating scene? If you're an average looking young male and didn't go into higher education, you are playing on nightmare difficulty. I'm a 38-year-old woman. I'll probably just stay single. I tried online dating a couple years ago and it was too intense. So many dick pics and weird sexual messages. I just want to know someone before I date them. I get asked out occasionally and I think I'll go for that. Can't hurt to have a coffee with someone to see if there's chemistry. But no more online dating. Online dating makes it seem like there is this weird pool of angry penises swimming around you at all times. It's unsettling. I like to connect with real people instead. It's pretty bad honestly. Online dating convenience has flooded the dating pool with competition, socially inept or borderline undateable people. This means more horrible conversations, more issues with safety/rejection/abuse, more bad dates, etc. The people who weren't able to enter the dating market previously now have a way to via dating apps. Ghosting has become the norm as a result of the above. On the flip side, if you manage to get into a relationship, people are more likely than ever to call it quits at the first minor inconvenience. Lots of things are red flags when in reality it's a pretty easy thing to compromise or ask the person to figure out with you. It's like nobody's willing to put in any work and they stop believing in compromise. I get that our parents and grandparents had to deal with a lot of shit and some may have stayed together way past their time, but we've swung in the complete opposite direction. This extends outside dating, but social media and the internet has conditioned people to constantly seek new stimulation, which leads to people not wanting to settle down or at least having super high standards in order to. I'd argue social media has also skewed our standards on physical beauty. Sure, we've had supermodels and celebrities for ages, but I think the notion that these weren't ordinary people was far more ingrained than now, where influencers are a dime a dozen, so everyone has deluded themselves to think that beauty standard is super common and therefore they're entitled to date someone who looks like that. All this means that more than ever dating is a numbers game and people get burned out emotionally, mentally, and sometimes literally physically/financially as they try and navigate the numbers. Everyone tells me I should end my 10-year relationship because I deserve better, but then I read threads like this and realize my options are stay with who I'm already with as long as possible, or just start being alone forever now. It's terrifying. Absolutely horrible. It's almost impossible to get more than 2 dates anymore. All my peers, men and women, agree. Full of desperate people with no standards. People who don't even ask for dates, they want you to come over, or worse, invite themselves over. I haven't had any trouble getting dates. But I'm tired of the expectation that I have to put in 90% effort just to get 10% back. The ones that do put in effort turn batshit crazy after 3 weeks. As someone with below average looks and a not very engaging personality, it's a fucking nightmare. As a man, online dating is basically useless if you're not an 8/10 I tried speed dating, but that's just speed getting rejected for me. I still do singles events, because that's mostly because I quite like the events themselves rather than the hope of actually meeting anyone. Lots of single moms. It's fucking complete trash. And it's because people are trash. And people probably think I'm trash. It's just a big OL circle of trash. Dating is the worst part of being single, which makes finding a partner that much harder. It's a terrible time to be dating grinning face with big eyes. It's like an underwhelming treasure hunt in a dumpster. In my 20s, anxiety-filled fun but no idea what I was doing. Now in my late 30s, it's yo, are we doing this? I gotta teach in the morning, so I need time to both get to know you and also create lesson plans. And if there's a possibility of banging, I need to schedule that in too. More hyper-focused, more present, more meaningful when there is time to date, and I'm way better at sex that it becomes a joyous activity rather than a chore. Oh, the pace of relationships. Some people want to take it slow, while others are in a rush to define everything. It's all about finding that sweet spot and being on the same page. Overall, it's a roller coaster with its ups and downs. But who knows, the next swipe might just be the one, right? Single mom of 2 here. Literally terrible. Good enough to sleep with but not good enough for a relationship. Every time. I deleted the apps for good. I'll never let anyone disrespect me like that again. It sucks. I've tried traditional means, dating apps, dating websites, and even attempted at an office fling. Nothing. It feels like it is impossible to find any partners in this day and age.